After a lot of testing and digging, I have finally found the perfect replacement for Jultan, the Dark Werewolf, because that unit is not exactly free to play. So it's my bad to consider that thing free to play. I know a lot of you guys out there don't have the Dark Werewolf because you guys chose Miho or Lin in the previous event. This guy right here, the Dark Yeti, is farmable via secret dungeon. So during the Dark Element Day, you can farm him. I'm using triple wheel rune because that will allow him to avoid getting his attack bar stolen by the boss. Triple HP, nothing too crazy. And I have some simple artifacts here with some extra accuracy to his skill and just some extra HP, nothing too crazy. What is so special about him? I think he is the perfect replacement for Jultan because he brings slow debuff here and slow debuff here. Also, he can reflect a little bit of damage to the boss, so he's one of those rare units that can use the reflect damage artifact, which is amazing. And by reflecting 10% damage, it means he doesn't take that 10% damage, so it can be a bit tankier as well, so he doesn't die that easily. Also, free attack bar when he gets attacked so that he can apply the slow debuff even easier. The damage received will be decreased up to 70% according to the attack speed. So when you have slow debuff on the enemy boss, your team will do a lot more damage than it should be. I just finished my secondary awakened rogue today, and he's doing an amazing job. So this is my second rogue. This is my first rogue. So Vile Shield, attack with damage attack. And this one's on, I think, speed, quick damage attack. I think this guy will be the timeless option for this dungeon. He brings slow debuff and he brings a lot of continuous damage. The current hot unit for this dungeon right now is the Light Rakshasa Pang. She's really good. She prolonged the one turn slow debuff that this guy can bring. And she prolonged the dots if you're using a dot based team or the defense break. But if you don't have Pang in the future, this guy is probably the most timeless and best option. He brings everything. Let's go for a quick run. If you want your run to be much safer, go for the option that can target the left crystal. That is, I think, most people's way to run this dungeon safely. Because if you go straight for the boss and your RNGs is a little bit not good, then the boss get the left crystal to cleanse and you will lose. But if you go for the left crystal first and kill it fast, it's gonna be much easier for your team. It's gonna be a little bit slower, but it's gonna be safe. I still think Jultan is the best option for this dungeon. The Yeti right here is just a soft replacement for Jultan. I know a lot of people don't have Jultan out there. You start playing the game recently and you get really discouraged when you see most team out there recommend Jultan. It's simply because Jultan is really good. But it doesn't mean you shouldn't do this dungeon if you don't have Jultan. You should be doing this dungeon because the skill crit damage bonus or the skill accuracy bonus or the skill recovery bonus are all super useful and really good for many different units. So you should be doing this dungeon without Jultan. You can do a very tanky Crow on triple wheel as well, but that is usually not the build for Crow for many other content, and it's not easy to run triple wheel and then have high damage, all that stuff. But triple wheel and just go triple HP or double HP defense might not be too hard for most people. And this guy is farmable, so you can always try to get him during the Dark Element Day. If you don't do the Veramos thing, you actually might have him in your storage. Also, double rogue is really good, and I think double rogue is the current best option for most PvE content except for Giants B10. Double rogue is good for Dragons B10, good for Necro B10, good for a lot of Rift Beasts. Oh wait, you can't do double rogue there. But yeah, good for Dragons, good for Necro, and good for this dungeon. I think might be good for the Steel Fortress as well. If you're running, let's say, Gina, and Gina missed the debuff, double rogue can potentially give Gina that skill back immediately with team up. So double two-way rogue right now is just really good, and I had to do it. Triple maybe pushing a little bit too hard, but I think double is really the sweet spot. They have very little RNG. When you take your team, they do a lot of damage and have cooldown reduction. and they're free to play. So you farm your XP in Fayman, so maxing Rogue skill is not gonna be a big problem. And they are the current day twins. Oh, this run is a little bit rough right here. Maybe not. No, with Homunculus is really easy because he's just way too good. But if you have the light Rakshasa Pang, definitely put her in. I think she's really amazing. You'll make your run much more consistent when the slow debuff always stay on the boss with her prolonging the debuff. And she can put slow and continuous damage herself. And that is really amazing. If you want to run with a healer, I don't really recommend because I don't think it's that much safer with anything like Jasuna Colleen or Jasuna Colleen. I don't think Fran is really good because Fran push attack bar back, so you are constantly giving the boss free turn. So this dungeon will require you to do a lot of damage, and it's not really easy to get into, but it's definitely achievable. I think the healer I liked the most was Vigor, but still, because the boss get really strong when you prolong the fight, it's not really that good. For the last slot, the non-free-to-play slot right here with Homunculus, I recommend something that either put slow debuff or put continuous damage, or preferably both. If you go to like the monster search button in your collection like view, you can try to search for something that has slow debuff and continuous damage, and I think that is the best. And one of the best option is definitely Pang. But if you don't have Pang HOH because you start the game a little bit recently, then you can go for Yin, the yellow Rakshasa. She's pretty okay as well. A lot of people use her. She can also put slow debuff and continuous damage. Damn, I can't speak straight. Continuous damage is just really good because the boss constantly get turned, so it's not that easy to kill him. And the right tower also give the boss a lot of attack bar and speed buff. So even with Yeti right here, with 2 skill that put slow debuff and a Homunculus that put slow debuff, it's not that easy to keep the slow debuff on the boss. But yeah, it's just not that easy to keep the slow debuff on the boss. I really hope you can put a Jultan in here, to be very honest. Much better. Consistent defense break help you to clear the left tower much faster. And he's also going to put dots on the boss. If you put a lot of dots on the boss, you don't have to worry about slow debuff. But having slow debuff helps. There are many other dark units out there, but I think this guy is probably the best. A lot of people recommend the Dark Griffin, but he doesn't do anything good in particular in this boss, in my opinion. So I think your boy here with the slow debuff is much better. And I don't think Dark Griffin is free to play. I need to check what is there in the Dark Dungeon.
A few moments later.
The next best option would be the Dark Vagabond Jubel, and he's not that good because he always spams his skill 2, which does provoke, and that is nothing in dungeon. Alright guys, that was a quick video showcasing the Dark Yeti in this dungeon. I hope you enjoy it. Once again, triple wheel on the Yeti. Farmable option to replace Jultan with. Really appreciate you watching. And those who gave me answer in the previous video that I did yesterday, really appreciate you guys for the feedback. I will read everything and consider y'all's opinion when I make future video content. Also, I'm trying to hit 100,000 subscribers before the year ends, so if you can help your boy out with a quick subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.